This is the Amp Hour Podcast, recorded previously, but released April 9th, 2017. Episode 342. Our first in-person episode.
Welcome to the Amp Hour.
This is weird.
Start again.
I think we should keep that.
We should keep that. All
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Well, that was a start, but I'm going to use my professional radio
of course,
voice on.
right.
Welcome to the Amp Hour. I'm Dave Jones from the EEV blog.
And I'm Chris Gamble of Contextual Electronics.
High five.
High five. Wait.
Hang on.
Got it.
Got it. Hopefully you heard that.
Yeah.
That was a genuine high five.
For real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not digital.
Woo!
That was a
Yeah, America. Yeah. High five. We are physically.
This is the weirdest shit ever.
This is the weirdest
This is
shit
like, I
ever.
don't know. Like, what do I look at? Like, do I look at you?
Yeah,
like,
no,
usually
no,
I'm like
no,
just
no,
looking at the
no,
screen. You know,
right,
I got that
okay.
stuff on the wall.
Yeah, I don't know. You've done a podcast with someone else.
I wasn't looking at. Yeah, I mean, but
You weren't looking at them.
but you weren't there either, right?
No, I wasn't there.
Right. And
No.
you when you recorded with Fran, and you guys were
I
recording
no,
whatever.
we were,
you know?
She was. Yep. So
Well, we're in uncharted territory here.
we are like a meter away from each other.
Yeah, this is weird. Yeah.
You're in
3
Australia?
feet if you're American. Yeah.
three and a bit feet.
Yeah, 3 and a bit, right. 39 inches. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Wait, no, that's a yard, isn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, yard's 39. I think a meter's 36.
Can we like work in furlongs or
Yeah,
something?
right, of course, right.
Okay.
So, yeah, I made it to Sydney. It's
Awesome.
nice city. I like it.
I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You mentioned on, was it Twitter or something? You want to just.
that was
quickly-
I was referring to something that was
Right.
referring to political stuff. So we
Oh,
won't.
you were right.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
saying
right,
saying
okay.
maybe I'll extend my.
Extend you've got a
my
3
visa.
month on your visa.
That's right.
on your
Yeah.
visitor's
If I need
visa.
to, I can stick around.
Right.
But no longer than that. I'm not on work holiday or anything.
Right.
So.
I was telling you can quit and you can just.
Yeah, just bum around. I
Just
have
bum
many.
around Australia.
I've met many back. I've been staying in hostels. I
Yep.
can do that whole hostel circuit, and I think it'd be tough to like be in a hostel and then like bring. You know, I had the Portal Lab back in the day, but like
Yeah. The Portal
these
Lab.
days, I don't think the Portal Lab would really make it through a hostel life. You know.
But that it'd pull in the chicks. I'm
Oh
telling
yeah,
you.
it definitely.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. All the hippie chicks really love
Right,
it.
yeah, they really dig
they're
it, yeah.
Ooh, what are you doing? Ooh, electronics. Tell me more. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. Speaking of electronics and
Yep.
meeting people and
Yep.
blah blah blah, we should mention what you set up for us.
Oh, meetup.
Right.
Yes. Oh, you already know. You've probably seen my video.
Maybe,
we have a
maybe
meetup
not,
this.
though.
No,
Some
maybe
people
not.
are,
They just
audio
listen
only,
to the
you know?
answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've met people who are only listen to the. Yeah, but they kind of know I do this blog thing on the side, you know.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
video
no,
once
no.
in a while.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And so this Tuesday night,
Tuesday.
Sydney.
That's right. Sydney time. Yeah.
Sydney time, 6 p.m.
Yep.
Piedmont Bridge Hotel. Be there or be square.
Which is like, so let's see, my geography's right here. That's, so like the Sydney Opera House,
Yep.
and then like that is like if you're facing the Sydney Opera House out, that's like
He's closing
looking
his eyes. He's visualizing.
north, right? That's like if you're looking due north if the Opera
Yep.
House is in front of you, and it would be off to the left. So it'd be
Correct.
west of that.
It would be west of that, correct?
All right,
And
yeah.
well, southwest. Because,
Southwest, right? Yeah, exactly.
Because the Opera
right.
House is on a point.
Yeah,
it's on a
right.
tip.
Yep. So yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah,
And your first meetup, you
My first
set
meetup?
up a meetup.com account.
I did.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yep.
first of many, we'll see.
Oh, we'll see. Yes,
Okay.
and I've already got. You might have seen on Twitter a potential space where we could hold regular meetups, perhaps.
Oh, where's that?
So, the Blue Chili group. They're a
mentioned them before.
startup. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I've done an interview. At Maker Fair, we did a talk with Seb, who's
That's
the
right, right,
co-founder
right,
of
right.
yes.
Blue chili, that's a weird
Blue
name.
Blue Chili. That's cool. That's a cool name. Anyway,
I would
he,
not eat blue chili. I gotta
he
say.
just mentioned randomly on Twitter that if you need a space,
Nice.
Blue Chili have a space. So they're like a startup-y, you know,
Yeah,
a
right, like an
funding-
accelerator type
accelerator
space,
type
yeah.
thing. Yep.
Cool.
So yeah, awesome.
Excellent.
So yeah, we might make it a regular thing. So
Community, yeah. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew? Yeah.
right.
Bring your projects. So that's the main thing. Obviously, bring your projects.
Bring a project.
Yeah.
Yes.
So circuit
Yep.
boards and what we were saying as well. Some people are probably software people, but if you have not ever built any hardware, but you're looking to, we thought that the best challenge for yourself would be if you could go try and do one thing in a layout program. So if you're
Right.
if you want to do Altium or Eagle or KiCad, just do one thing, just bring one thing to show off, or bring your software project, bring your Hackday.io profile,
Bring your printout on old dot matrix, with the hold paper.
Bring
like,
your punch cards. Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's good.
Bonus points if you get 2 entries into the door prize if you bring dot matrix printout with the paper feed.
That's right. Yeah.
Holes on the side. I'm betting you never had a printer with a dot matrix printer.
I did actually. No, I
You did?
That was the very first one. I remember it was a 286 computer, and it did have
Dot matrix, dot matrix printer.
Right,
Okay.
with the manual feed.
Yep.
Yellow green.
Yep.
The green and white line paper.
Okay, and with the sprocket holes on the side.
Oh, of course. Right, and you got to rip that stuff off.
Yep, it feeds up and
Yeah, I remember that because then I remember we tried to make like a banner that one time, or like we tried to make birthday cards or something. Like it was just the worst.
Right.
It was the worst idea.
Yep.
But yeah, that was early days. So that was probably early 90s. Yeah.
Yep.
They were still in dot matrix days.
They were. I was still using mine until early 90s probably.
Yeah.
Then I got an A3 bubble jet. Not an inkjet, bubble jet.
Bubble jet. Twice the
Canon
price.
were the first. Yeah. Twice the price, half the resolution.
That's right. Yeah.
But it was A3. I could print out A3 schematics. I thought it was a Dux Guards. I paid a fortune for that thing.
What's A3? That's
A3 is double an American fool's cap. Double, like.
So like a legal size? Like
No. Like, and that's a standard A4 sheet, which is equivalent to your what?
Letter. Or
letter.
8.5 by 11,
It's double that size.
Okay.
It is actually double. So.
Like double this way?
Double this way.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
so that's like we call that legal. Like
legal.
Yeah, so that's
No, legal's still not as big as an
11 by
A3.
17. Yeah, it's 11 by 17.
Really?
Yeah. You're gonna
Google
look
it.
it up?
I'm gonna look it
Yeah,
up.
look at that. We can actually tell when we're googling things now. Like I'm looking at Dave googling. But anyways, as Dave looks that up, so the meetup's happening. It's going to be on a rooftop terrace.
Rooftop terrace at the Piedmont Bridge Hotel.
very
Pretty schmick.
Pretty schmick. Yeah.
Yep.
Get some lingo in here.
He's getting down the lingo. All right.
Yeah.
And why not? We have exclusive use of the facility until from 6 p.m. till 8. So best meetup you'll ever go to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Weird.
None of your little dodgy bar, just sit in the pub at the bar kind of thing. We've got our own private bar.
Oh,
apparently.
private bar. Right.
Apparently, so, yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
Cool. Well, let's see what else. So you were very nice to walk me around the Opera House and the bridge.
The Opera House and the Harbour Bridge.
Right. You wanted to take a picture like Mr. Kaiser.
Like Mr. Kaiser, but you wouldn't let me.
With the nuts, yeah.
Yep.
No, I did not go for that. But yeah, it was a cool tour.
And we went on a ferry.
We went on a ferry to Manly
classic
Beach.
Ferry ride to Manly Beach at night.
Yeah, great views. Great views of the...
You posted a good Twitter photo when we were coming back in on the boat.
Yeah, if people are interested in what I've been
Opera House
snapping shots of, I've been doing a lot of Instagram stuff. So
I hate Instagram because it doesn't pop up automatically on Twitter.
That's the Twitter problem. Yeah, right. Yeah, Twitter's been changing too with their the replies and stuff like that. It's all...
Oh yeah. I noticed the format he changed or something on my TweetDeck program.
Yeah, lots of
what?
Lots of angst about that, I guess, on Twitter, but whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, meh.
So what are you going to bring to the meetup?
I will wear my Belovo Accutron Space View watch, and I will bring my new multimeter, my EV Blog multimeter, which is
I have not seen that yet.
Actually. Yeah, there it is. There you go. You can physically.
So you're sticking with the blue, okay? I
didn't
realize that.
Yeah, no, that's the EV Blog blue. It has a certain Pantone number.
You got a Pantone.
Yeah,
color.
I got a Pantone color.
Oh, I don't know. Is if I say anything on here, is it a spoiler or no?
No.
What's
everyone
the 1.21 gigawatts on here?
Well, 1.21.
No, you forgot the point. There's no point.
I didn't want to put the point because that was too obvious. So I wanted it to.
Oh, you didn't want to get a cease and desist from.
Right. Right. Like I did with the T-shirt. Yeah.
Aha. Right.
So
this is solid, man. This is really solid.
Yeah, it's a brick. Yeah, because it uses 4 AA batteries, so it's thicker than most. Like you see, like at the bottom, they usually thin out at the bottom because the battery's in the top.
It's got like a gap in the back.
Yeah.
This is the problem now. So now we're in person. We're like, just look at this and that. Right.
And I can physically hand it to you.
Wow.
We deliberately didn't do video here. We just thought it was meh.
Yeah.
Video's meh.
So what are the specs on this thing? Or
no, specs are private at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So
specs have not.
Specs are on the way. Low burden though. Okay.
Yep.
So
Low, but it's got multimeter,
it.
microcurrent functionality built in. All that sort of
gotcha.
jazz. So,
Very cool.
yeah. So I'll bring that along so people can have a play.
Are you gonna open up the back?
I might.
Yeah, I think you should.
Always got my.
I've got some circuit boards with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
My
What else can I bring?
usual
I don't know.
traveling stuff. Well, we should also mention that you did mention giveaways. We are going to do
Yes, we are going to give away a couple of multimeters and a scope, I think.
and a scope, right? So
scope.
we have a scope to give away, and we will be doing more scopes. As
sometime.
part of a share thing. So if you share an episode,
Right.
you get entered into a contest kind of thing, and
Yep.
maybe we'll do that for the next episode, which we record, which
Right,
is
yes, that'll be on the road.
on the road.
Down
We are
the
doing
road.
a
We can
undeterminate.
segue now. He's given like hand
Yes,
gestures
that's
for the
right,
segue
right,
in,
right.
you know, like,
Yeah,
like
right.
pointing to
Yeah,
me.
it's-
You know?
Dave, you're on. Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. So, but we will be doing a road trip to
Yep.
some
Somewhere.
surprise location, which
We
I'm very
will.
excited about.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the full access I wanted in this location because it depends on the downtime that they have, and it's very difficult
You're
to
giving
tee
it
up.
away now. You're
Yeah,
giving it
yeah,
away.
okay, I might be giving it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
But whatever, it's fine.
yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be doing some recording on the road and recording other stuff, and
You're going to Melbourne. You're going to the cyclotron.
that's right. Yeah.
Yes, so
I
you
got
gotta-
contacted, and I will be. It's actually really works out well because it's the Easter weekend, and
Yep.
so that'll be shut down that whole weekend, and we're gonna go in. Well, I mean, it's
Are
still,
you physically going to go inside the ring?
yeah. Apparently.
Oh, I didn't get to go inside because it was operational.
Right.
You know, I would
Yeah,
have
you
got
don't wanna
fried. You
get-
know, no.
Yeah. Cooked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
But I got to put my hand in the beam.
Really?
As it exited, yes,
Holy
because
crap.
one time, because they,
I mean, it goes right through.
yeah,
right? I mean, like-
no, because this one converted down to light, right? So
Oh.
they have different, like there's different exits off the ring, and they put different spectrum stuff and different instruments off the taps on the ring all the way around.
Interesting.
So
how
one
do
of
they do that? Like bend, well, you can't bend the light with.
Oh yeah, I've done the video where the guy
okay,
explains
I'll
it.
have to go. Yeah.
Anyway, yep,
Okay.
I've done a full tour with an
Do you
explanation.
show the
video.
ring thing? Because
I show the ring thing. Yeah, I
Okay,
got a full
okay.
tour of the ring, and they're putting the hand in.
Yeah,
the,
because I know you had gone to the cyclotron. I just didn't.
Yep.
I guess I missed the rest of that video. So.
Anyway, yep, full tour video available,
Okay,
and
okay.
yeah, so they down convert that to, light, so so they can do light experiments,
Mm-hmm. Of course,
visible
right.
light experiments have
Right.
certain applications.
Right.
And,
Well, I imagine as you smash stuff together, it also makes different
yep.
photons kick
It's-
off and all that stuff,
yep.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I found out. Well, Fermilabs is in Chicago, outside Chicago, and
Yep.
I got an email from one of those people too, and I gotta eventually get out there. So
Right. Okay.
maybe if you ever come to Chicago,
I
you know,
might. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you
I
go.
think we got a couple years on that
No,
one.
we
but,
might have. Yeah.
yeah.
Wife and kids. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so we'll get there, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
Sweet.
And Melbourne, I am still setting up the meetup.
Melbourne.
Melbourne. I'm still setting up the meetup, but there will be one. And I will be on Tuesday the 18th, which is
Right.
my last day in country. So just because it's past the,
All right.
I didn't realize Easter's public holiday here. So
Yep.
like,
Easter is a public
yeah, it's
holiday.
like the Monday
Yep.
after is a holiday too. So
Yep.
what
Yes,
you
we
gonna do?
have the Good Friday and the Easter Monday.
Right.
Yep.
So
4-day long
Tuesday,
weekend.
that's when we drink beer and talk hardware. So
Sweet.
yeah. So
Cool.
I'm excited.
So that'll be in the center of Melbourne somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
we might do something with the hackerspace too. So
Oh,
we'll see.
okay.
Talking
Yep.
to a couple of people there.
Yes. Excellent.
So
No worries.
yeah, good group of people all around. I
We-
didn't mention the New Zealand meetups went really well too.
Excellent.
Did one in Auckland. That was about 10 people, and one in Wellington. That was about
Yep.
7 people. So thank you to everyone who showed up. And good times, good beers.
Cool.
Yep. Good electronics. Everybody brought stuff, and that was always a good time. So
Excellent.
yes.
And we just came from a hackerspace.
Oh, we did. Yeah, robots and dinosaurs.
Robots and dinosaurs.
Which
yes.
I didn't realize until you told me, like, when are you meeting us at R&D? And I'm like, oh, I get it now.
Right.
That's cool, yeah.
R&D, robots
Yeah,
and
right,
dinosaurs.
right.
I don't know if that was intentional or not.
Oh, surely. Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably. Okay. Right.
Yeah, no, it was a nice little space, though. I mean, like, so
Yeah, it's small.
I tell people,
it's nice,
like,
yeah.
there's always, like, the equipment tour and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not really the reason.
No,
to
no,
go.
no, no. It's
The
not
reason
the
to go
reason.
is for, like,
The people.
like, let's talk about what is that you're working on.
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
we heard we can't talk about
No,
one of the
we
things that
can't
we heard
talk about one of the things we
but
saw because they're going to do stuff with it.
right. But I'm sure it'll come
Paper.
up later.
Yeah, I know. It'll definitely come
But
up. But
the,
it's very cool. He's
great
been working a
group
couple of
and-
years on it.
Yep.
Yep.
So thanks to them too.
Yeah.
And yeah, so trip so far pretty big success.
Awesome.
Yep.
We're off tomorrow. We're going up the mountains,
Right.
taking you up the mountains,
No spiders and no snakes though.
and no canyoning.
And
He doesn't want canyoning.
Right. I don't want to get crushed.
But do you want to?
My own ineptitude of physical nature, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I'm more of a walk. I can walk up mountains. I've done that a couple times
All right.
so far.
Well, we'll do some stuff.
Sure.
Sweet.
Yes. Outdoor stuff.
Yep. Because you've only seen the city at the moment, haven't you? You haven't even been out to Bondi Beach or anything, have you? You haven't been.
Well,
out
we
to
went
beaches?
to the Manly Beach, but
no, Manly
but
Beach
that was
isn't
at night
the same.
too.
That was at night.
Yeah.
No, it's not the same.
Yeah. You know, seeing stuff. Okay. Right. You know. Here's the thing. I love traveling. It's great, but like I've said in the past, it's like the more places you go, the more like food you try, and I don't know, maybe I'm just not going to like remote enough places, but like, you know, Sydney's a city. It's a really nice city, and there are different things, but like it doesn't blur together, but it's just, you know, different flavors of the same thing.
It's the same thing.
And so that's why I always say it's like getting to hang out with people, hear new stories, you know, obviously see the sights, but yeah, I think it's
any large city in the world's going to feel pretty consistent, pretty
especially
much
when
the
they
same.
speak English,
yeah,
mostly whatever
exactly.
you guys call English, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's different when you go to a foreign language country.
Right, exactly.
It's like it feels foreign because you don't. You know,
because
like,
you're just kind of like in the middle of a sea of people that are confusing. You know, like it doesn't catch your ear.
No, you're hearing all this stuff and you have no idea what you know,
it's
no
like the
idea
human
what's going
filter
on.
in your, you know, or
it's
the,
just
the ability
it's
to do
entirely different.
So
you feel a bit more. Oh, geez, I'm really out of my comfort zone now.
Right, exactly.
So,
yep. So, but yeah, this feels natural, and you know, it's a big city and it's a little sprawling, but
your voice is different in real life.
Oh yeah, that's what you said too.
Yep, it's deeper.
Yeah.
Although it's probably different here in the office, maybe a little bit. The first time we met, like I'm getting used to it now. Maybe that's why. But the first time when we met, and you opened your mouth, it was like, what?
Yeah,
that's very basic. You know.
Yeah. Well, I was mentioning right before we started recording too. Like this is the first time we record without headphones on.
Oh yes, we don't have headphones.
So that's weird too, right?
It is weird.
Like we hear each other through these communication mechanisms, and so
everything's filtered.
You know what it probably is, though. You would probably know what my voice sounded like if you ever listened to the podcast after the fact.
Oh, right.
Everybody else knows what it sounds like. You just don't, because you only hear it through the mumble thing.
Got it.
There you go. Reasons to listen to the podcast.
There you go. It's because it's higher fidelity. Mumble's lower. Going to be
right. Good sound
essentially lower, lo-fi.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, so we got that crap out of the way.
Yeah,
Good.
Wasted half a show on that. Just pissed away like we normally do. All right, what do we got?
Let's see.
What do we want to talk about?
We got a lot of stuff on here. This was actually really this is relevant to some of the stuff we saw today. There was Lemnos, the guys from Lemnos Labs were writing about robotic startups, and we've talked about this a lot in the past, right? About like, yes, the robotic revolution's coming, but it's probably better to start your own company, right? That's the thing you should be doing. But this is the reason that they bring it up is because about LiDAR. And I've already seen, in the past 2 days, I've seen like 2 or 3 different chipsets that are like breakout boards or just single chips. Like they're just everywhere. And I still don't, I don't know how to actually get the data off that. I think it goes into like robot operating system, ROS. But like that's like that is one of the key pieces for building things that can avoid obstacles and all that other stuff. So, and like the cost they're talking about, like I think in the article they talk about like it might be 50% of your BOM cost now, but it's probably gonna be closer to 5 in 5 years. Kind of
Whereas Wi-Fi was like that, like it was so expensive to integrate Wi-Fi, like it was half the cost. Oh God, half the cost of your product. Now it's like, $2 or something, right? To integrate Wi-Fi.
And ESP8266 is everywhere, and there's other chipsets that are competing with that, and the stacks are all there, and like that's what it comes down to is that like this is now leading edge, and so I mean it's just kind of what I kind of get. I get a lot of what is it? The Hardware Weekly, I think it is. But it also talks about like it shows like the things that are getting funded. Like all these startups are getting funded, and the robot ones they just keep. I mean, not that like we're talking about investment often, but
is that the new flavor of the month?
What?
Robotics, sort of
I think it's
that
been
area.
The flavor.
It's always been.
The flavor. Yeah, there's special like funds that are set up for that kind of thing. But I think.
But will there be like a frenzy?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I think that there's enough of a. So like with IoT, it's like throw Bluetooth on it, and then I'm a software developer. But it's like robotics still needs a lot of stuff, right? You still need a lot of. Motor control, and you need, all the code to control it, and then all the interfacing things. So it's not like particularly easy to get it done, but I think there's just more accessible. Like to get like one of those LiDAR spinners that's on like a Boston Dynamics thing.
Yep.
You know, that was really
serious.
hard, right? That was $10,000, or the ones that are on the self-driving cars. But now there's ones that are smaller, and so you can get kind of like smaller scale robots. Like so, I saw there was a bunch of money that was just raised by another warehouse company. So you remember Kiva Robots was the Amazon one that got bought by Amazon for like $750 million. So now there's others just entrance into the market kind of thing. So yeah, robots. I don't know. I don't have any idea for.
Is the Internet of Things now dying away? It's like, you know,
it'll
probably all the big people are going to like, right.
Okay. Well, maybe it's just that there's
when
enough
it's actually
connectivity
useful.
everywhere. You know, like, yeah, I don't know. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh come on, dude! You can't have a chip printer thing on here.
I didn't put that there, and it's not. Actually,
right. Okay. Who put it there?
I didn't put it there.
Ode Hinko.
Yeah, I don't agree with this actually.
Right. Okay.
So this is a Wired article about like it's about a silver ink printer. It's we've talked about that. We've seen that. That's not even close to a chip printer. So.
Oh right. Oh, okay. No, not even close. Okay.
Right.
No. Are you still going to personally resign to the fact that I was right?
Did I have to hand over like a $5 bill or something like that?
Yeah. Yes, a token $1.
Yeah,
the bet is $1.
Oh, like in Trading Places.
Yeah, Trading Places, right.
Randolph, you won. Yes.
Here's your $1.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'm giving up on that one yet. I think I have a couple more years.
Well, was it 20? Was it 20?
I think it was 20.
It was
I don't
20?
remember, but someone asked if me coming here was me losing the bet.
Right. Okay.
And I was like, no, I'm just visiting, you know, like, but
right.
Yeah, no, it's not the.
He concedes defeat, folks.
Whatever.
Okay, yeah, whatever is the usual defeat response.
Yeah, we'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
SpaceX launched relaunched the reusable rocket there, and we talked about that. I did a thing with Fran, which isn't really an official amp hour episode.
Right, we're going to post the audio hopefully.
We'll post the audio, but it's up on the YouTubes.
That's right, on your EEV Blog 2 channel.
I'll post it onto the amp hour YouTube as well.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was good. And you guys talked all about that.
Yep.
You know, I've been reading a lot. I've been, doing more sci-fi stuff. I told you about that new series, The Expanse.
Yes, The Expanse I have not watched yet, but it's on Netflix, and I'm quite excited because I like Netflix.
I've been reading the book.
Right.
But it's really, the thing that I keep getting towards is like all of this sci-fi stuff, it's just like, space sucks. Like, I know that like people are like, oh, we're like, destined for the stars, but like, man, that sucks. Like just the timeline to get. I mean, like everything's about that, right? Like it's 4 months to get to Mars, and it's what's it called? The Voyager that's way the hell out there. It's like that's in 30 years. That's still only so far, and yeah, space sucks, and like you're crapping into bags.
No, it's not great. It's not great.
Yeah, and so what was I going to say about that though?
As Buzz Aldrin famously said, Buzz said this the other month when Elon did the thing. I said this on the podcast. His response to Elon, saying, "Oh, we're going to Mars, we're going to, everything else." His response was, "What are you going to do when you get there?"
Yeah, right.
Like it's a serious question.
Yeah,
like. Nothing, right? You're just going to die.
Well,
right?
probably, yeah. Hopefully you build up the...
last a couple of months or a couple of years, and then you're just probably going to die. Something's going to kill you, or you just die of boredom, like...
Right. Well, right? Yeah, I guess that's one thing you can do. I mean, you could try and come back, but probably not going to happen, so, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway. Oh, that's why, that's what I remember, because I remember thinking about the chip printer idea, right? Like, ultimately... that's one of the big problems is that, like, if you really think about a long-term space mission, what's going to go... Like, you're going to have cosmic radiation. And actually, they talk about this in Seven Eves, one of the Stevenson books, where basically they have a stockpile of chips that they actually protect... They put it, like, in, like, a water bladder, basically, to protect it from radiation, because you start getting all these errant X-rays and gamma rays and whatever, because you don't have the atmosphere, and then... But eventually, you're going to run out. So then what? Like, what are you going to do when all that happens? And
you need the chip printer.
Just
like they had in the Terra Nova. We talked about this 6 years ago. Yes, Terra Nova was where they had a chip printer.
Right.
They could just, the chip's broken. We'll print one in our chip printer.
Right. Well, I mean, so like maybe we before we add Astra, whatever the phrase is in Latin, before we get to the stars, we need to figure that shit out. I don't know. We'll get to that point, but yeah.
Hey, all this Internet of Things bullshit. So who posted this?
I think that
Who
was me.
posted? That was you.
I think so.
The
dishwasher?
Bugger that. The pizza. Ordering the pizza.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Where's that? You can just look
search
on your
for
screen, huh?
Yeah, right. You can just lean over and look if you want.
Well, novelty, we have to.
Here we go. Donald Sherman orders a pizza using a talking computer on December 4th, 1974.
Okay.
Like, yeah, they ordered a pizza. It was like, it's
okay,
awesome.
I'm back on my mic. What? I didn't actually watch it.
I haven't listened to the sound, but he's ordering a pizza in 1974 over the phone using a computer.
So like doing
this was a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm not sure of the exact mechanism how it actually worked if it had a computer voice. And there's like all people standing around watching. It's like, and all these guys with classic mullets and like the long hair and the big sideburns and everything, and they've got the acoustic coupler modem, and they're going to order their pizza.
The phone.
The
handset.
Yeah, handset onto the
300 baud.
Yep,
right? Yeah.
Yep. Well, wasn't it? No, 300 baud was fancy pantsy.
Really?
Yeah.
There was one baud, huh?
Probably
back
75,
in my day. Yeah.
You know, because if you had you would have the 1275. So it'd be 1200 one direction, 75 the other.
Wait.
This is before your time. You receive it at 1200 and you send it 75.
Really?
Yeah.
Why this? Just
it was a duplexy systemy
okay.
limitation thing. It was just
Interesting.
Yep. So they share the channels in both directions, because typically, like you both wouldn't want to send it 1200 to each other or something. So you would you only had limited bandwidth. So you would
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I like seeing those things, like because they always like the what is it, like the Bakelite molded things too, with like the rubber, with the rubber on the top, really coupling it in there. Yeah.
Oh goodness, I'm gonna have to watch War Games again, just for kicks.
Yes.
So
someone wrote in about this. They said Dr. Fegeline. As far as I can tell, the computer being used here is a CDC 6500, an $8 million supercomputer. The Speak and Spell was released just 4 years later and used a single chip for the voice synthesis.
So they were doing voice synthesis, ordered a pizza using voice synthesis. Right.
So the phonemes and all that stuff, like the...
Yep.
Did you ever use those chips? I remember...
Yeah.
You did a video about this, right?
Yeah. Yes, the SP256AL2.
AL2.
The AL2, there was two chips. There was one which was the speech synthesizer, which you had to feed it the allophones, right? So you had to know what the allophones were.
Right, because it was like you were just pinging a memory map or something like that, right?
Yeah. And it had a table look up, and you had to give it the. But to be able to, you either had to know how to construct words using those phonemes, or you use the companion AL2 speech, which converted ASCII. So it took ASCII input, and it knew how to convert ASCII into the phonemes to then send to the other chip too.
Right.
Yep. And that was the classic.
Nice.
That was a classic chip.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and then there's then the TI one's different though, right? Because the TI Speak and Spell had a single chip, or is that the same stuff?
I think it's I don't think it uses the same one. I think TI had their own tech. Did they?
I know that what's his name? Gene France, I think, is one of the guys. Because he's now at Octavio Systems,
right?
Which are the folks that do the have you seen that new BeagleBone chip that they do?
BeagleBone chip.
Yeah, so basically they did the flip chip stuff where they did like the system integration, where it's got the AM3356 or whatever. I'm butchering these numbers.
The ARM.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, it's like the ARM.
It's an ARM thingy processor, and it's got the memory on the back, so it's a flip chip construction.
Right, and so it's Octavo, but it's like, so, because I just saw, did I add it to the list? I don't know if I added it to the list. There was someone on...
Sorry, I'm going to have to jump back in. It used, the Speak and Spell used the TMC 0280, Linear Predictive Coding Speech Synthesizer.
Oh, cool.
So it didn't use the SP256AL2.
Right, and well, I'm guessing if TI didn't make the
No. That was General. That was basically. Was it pre-Microchip? Was it General who became Microchip?
I know you're talking
General. Oh goodness, I should know this. I'm going to pretend to be like super knowledgeable and
right.
and use...
Now we have two microphones hearing our typing, right?
You're right. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
It's very disturbing. I can see your voice waveform. I'm used to watching the waveform.
I know, it looks so clean.
It looks so clean, and your voice is coming through. It's like,
no.
No.
Yeah, we're not used to. So yeah, hopefully, if this sound setup sucks this time,
it's
because
not going to be great.
We are not. We're not used to this kind of like.
No, ideally we'd just have one mic in the middle of us, I guess.
No, it's like Chris and Alicia do this for Embedded FM.
Yep.
They have. It's more like a stereo. I mean, it's like a studio setup, right? But basically, the idea is that my voice will hopefully flood out whatever's feeding through to your mic.
Right. Okay.
Right. And then
All right.
the real problem is that it's an echoey room. So one of the problems. So.
Yep. This is
if it sucks, we're sorry, but whatever. The novelty was, we couldn't pass that up.
No,
so
that,
we're also going to be recording from a car next time.
Yeah,
so that's going to really
gonna
suck.
Yeah.
I have lapel mics, but we'll see how that works out.
That's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
So. So I thought I added this to the list, but Drew from Oshpark had posted. There was a basically it's like it looked like a mini BeagleBone, but almost it was like a breakout just for this chip. So you still can run. So it's like a power supply, and then this Octavio A8 whatever, and then it can still run the BeagleBone distro. That's there.
Right.
So.
Got it.
You still reading? Still reading what it is? You got it? General?
I got it.
What is it?
Microchip used to be General Instruments.
General Instruments.
General Instruments, yep. Or they might have merged with it, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But,
They're all.
something like that.
Yeah, we were talking on the way over about the all the.
No, General Instruments spun off its microelectronics division as a wholly owned subsidiary, which was Microchip.
Wait, so did you ever refer to things as microchips before that then?
Yes.
So they just co-opted the name Microchip?
They co-opted the name, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
It's ballsy.
Ballsy move.
Yeah. But
gotta...
nobody trademarked it because it was too common.
We're calling them out 40 years later, right?
Right.
Now that they've bought up Atmel and everything else. Guys, not cool.
Not cool. Yeah. No, you're going to to have to ditch that name. If you have called you out on the
We're going to name you something
you're
new.
Toast.
What should we call them?
Micro Rip. I don't know.
Tiny
Micro Rip.
Transistor Company. You're welcome.
What's the one you can buy their chips on eBay? They sell like super high speed 7.4 series logic.
Oh, I know you're talking. Yeah.
Potato Semiconductor. Is it like Potato Semiconductor?
Is it really? Potato Semiconductor?
And it's like run out of some guy's garage.
Oh yeah, because it's like they're either classifying, they're just like buying and binning chips or something, or
no. They do their own chips. They do one gig. You can get 1 gig speed 7.4 series logic.
There's a joke in there about like potato quality. You ever see like people refer to like potato quality photos and stuff like that.
And it's like I love their logo. It's like 8-bit. Kind of like icon graphics. It's like the guy did it himself, Like,
I guess when you're the boss and the whole judge and jury, I guess you get to do that.
No, it's great. Good on him. I'll have to get these sometime. It's like
just try it out and see what it looks like.
1 gig, yeah.
That's crazy.
So, yep.
What? Why? Yeah. At that point, come on, yeah.
Yeah, it's Yep. Anyway,
keep syncing your 7.4 series logic.
Just because you can, right? Just because you can. That's great.
Yep.
Anyway. Right.
Cool.
What else have we got?
Wouldn't it be funny if we just like ran out of time?
We just ran out of shit to say.
Right.
That's it. The amp hour's finished.
Usually, yeah.
Nah.
Had a good run. See ya.
Well, it's because we've got to look at each other. That takes time.
Right. Usually, I just ignore the crap out of you. I'm just like, Dave will be talking for 5 minutes. At least.
No, we're
go get a drink of water. Go use the restroom.
You talk
whatever.
more than I do these days.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
And, so we're often like staring at the screen in the background, and someone else is yapping away, and we're trying to think of stuff to say next. It's different.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah. Yep. This is a link that I saw posted. It was actually really good. It's all about the hardware development process. I saw Star had posted this or reposted this on Twitter, but it's basically. I was actually interested because I had just written about not doing this, so I've been I've been really interested in like the idea of like continuous. What's it called? Continuous integration.
I thought you were going to say continuous improvement.
I know, right?
Oh my god! Like I would have reached over and strangled you.
Yeah, you could do that, right? Yeah.
Continuous improvement.
Right.
Sorry, like it was like for like a decade there, it was like the buzzword of.
Oh yeah,
of corporations.
Kaizen, all that crap,
all that
right?
sort of
5S,
crap.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
continuous improvement.
We could have gotten jobs at middle management anywhere if we.
Hang on, I'm going to snap a photo of his real funky hair. He doesn't like people to see it. he doesn't like people to see it.
This is good during the show.
Yeah. During the show, I'm going to snap a photo. Here we go.
This is why I've been having. I make my own hats now.
Right, you make your own hats.
Yeah, I have a KiCad hat. I have an oscilloscope hat. You saw my oscilloscope hat.
I saw your oscilloscope hat.
This is my thing where I go buy patches on Adafruit and then I iron them onto the front of blank hats. It's a great way to do it. So if you're like they've got a eagle patch, they've got a python patch.
There you go. You can
choose your flavor. I love the patch. They're really nicely made. So I made my own hats. So
sweet.
I was trying to convince the embedded folks to instead of making hats because they made hats to just make a patch.
And then
you can put a patch on anything then, right? Put it on a backpack. Maybe we should get an amp hour patch.
We should. Yeah. We should.
Or stickers, or really anything.
So
do
you sew
t-shirts.
it on, or do you just?
It's a heat one, and then I sewed it after the fact.
Okay.
So
there you go.
Anyways, so.
I'm sure that brings in the chicks too.
Oh yeah,
the oscilloscope hat.
Is that an oscilloscope hat? Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Dave likes bringing that stuff up. It's very fun.
Yep.
So not continuous improvement, but continuous integration, which is a software concept. Do you know what that means or no?
No. Explain.
So basically, it's like you continuously do a build. So each time you do a commit.
Okay. It automatically builds.
It does a build, and then if it doesn't build, then you've obviously messed something up.
You've screwed something up.
Right. So this is just an idea I was thinking about, and it's really not a well-formed idea yet. I'm really just like
you're not going to try and do this for hardware, are you?
Well, that was that's just like, could it work, right?
Right.
I mean, and the interesting thing is if you hand off, where does it really stop, right? Because I think about when I do a new layout, right? I put a cap on a board, and then it's like a really tall cap, and then at some point that's going to run into the plastics that are already designed, right?
Right.
And so the idea would be like, as if I do a commit with a new capacitor on board.
So you're almost automatically doing a ERC. No, not an ERC, a DRC. Plus an ERC.
It is kind of all that stuff, but then it's also like it has to go to other people, right? So like you have to go send it to your mechanical engineer probably, right? So it has to generate a 3D model, right?
Yep.
Like Altium's good at that. KiCad's getting better at that, where it generates a 3D model, but then it's also like, hey, this is what changed. Do whatever you need. It doesn't need to be like
probably you could automatically do that in Altium with scripting.
You think?
You could probably, because Altium does the 3D envelope fit in, so it'll show up. So if you go to the 3D view, it'll automatically mark in red if your component is too tall and it's actually hitting your case.
Okay. So does that have to do the? So I've been talking to people about that too, because there's like a really tight integration with like SolidWorks, right?
Right.
Does it work with? Do you know if it works with other? CAD models?
I don't know. I'm not that up on the new.
Because it's the thing, like a lot of these things, like you can totally do it if you buy into the whole system, right? If you were like top to bottom integrated, it's like it works great.
Yep.
Right. And I started looking into like PLM systems too, because a lot of them do it, where it's like, oh well, now it triggers this different thing, and it'll tell your buyer or whatever. But now I guess the real question is, could you do without that? That's what I've been kind of thinking about and writing about and stuff.
Got it.
But this article is basically a really good rundown of why hardware is different, right? So it's just showing all of the different steps, right? Especially as you taking things all the way through to production, like the full production setup, basically, where you're doing DVT, PVT, all these different stages, because you're doing super high volume stuff, and it's really different. That is where it all falls apart, right? It's like,
that's where the wheels fall off the billy cart.
Right, of course. But I think there's other things that are in there that are kind of interesting too, like
this is an extensive article.
Oh no, it's very well written, and for people, especially people that have not done NPI, like new product introduction type stuff, like this is really good, because it also shows like the breaks. And for when I talk to like young engineers about this, I'm like,
as in the quantity breaks you're talking about.
Sort of, but also just like so she drew out the development and manufacturing, right, as like a solid break.
And
really that's what it is, right? I mean, you've done this too, right? It's like you have a product and it's finished, it's through, it's at a gate or whatever, if you're doing like a gate process, and at the end it's like, okay, this is like starting an entirely new thing where, yes, this thing is a nicely formed prototype and blah blah blah, but now I'm going to take this and it's a whole new project, effectively, right? Taking it into production is a whole new thing, and it sucks.
Interestingly, David too, my cohort.
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 Ooh.
Is that, well, and yeah, news coming.
Yeah.
He showed me he's developed a new product, and he's an automation freak,
of course.
right? And yeah, so hasn't really made one yet, right? But he's automated everything to make it, and we'll probably show this on a video in probably the next month or two.
Yeah.
And what he does is he has scripted everything so that he sucks all the data from Altium. Right, so sucks all your bill of materials data from Altium, can automatically suck it in, automatically spreadsheets it all, sorts it, but he types in what quantity he wants to make, and it automatically gets all the latest prices from all the different vendors, and it automatically generates purchase orders in their required templates.
Damn.
Yeah, it's fully like it almost is like a single button. You type in the number you want, you push a button, it generates the purchase order, and all you got to do is feed in your credit card number, and then it goes to the assembler, and 10 units come back or 100 units come back.
That ain't bad.
And it's fully automated. So in theory, you could push that from Altium side, and you could so as you're editing Altium, it can go, I'm going to change this capacitor from this type to this type. Yep. How much that reflects in my final manufacturing cost and lead time as well.
Right, and that's what I've talked to some people that you also know that just about like so maybe there's maybe you're just watching. Oh well, your price went up on your final BOM, right? Or it's like watch it, or maybe it's recalculating costs, and it's like doing all this stuff, and it's like now the DRC, right? The DRC is not for does your track get too close to another track, but the DRC is did you go over your cost target, right?
It's your entire design.
Yeah, that's
you're not just limiting.
I mean, people probably right now are
that's
screaming
the difference
at the radios.
between DRC and ERC. ERC electrical rules check. It's just electrical. DRC could encompass as much as you want it to.
It totally could. Right.
Right. So.
And I'm sure people are screaming at the radio right now, and they're like, Chris has gone insane, Dave's gone insane, but there's a lot of overhead for this kind of thing, and it's probably not worth it, but...
For most people, it's probably not worth it, but for some people, it is the golden ticket.
Right. And so I would be very interested to see David Two's stuff about that, because, I mean, obviously this is just, stuff that I think about and talk about a lot, so, but... This is what anyone doing prototyping into manufacturing is going to be doing, right? I mean, like, I actually found out, I was sad to find out, Squid is no more. Did you know Squid?
No, I have no idea. Sorry, I'm not going to share the
tips. I believe we talked about Squid at some point, but...
I've done 300 and something shows.
They are basically a bomb tool that would do... They would send out bombs to everyone. So it would check across all of them, and then it would just give you like kind of like what David 2's doing, but basically would just give you the block of like for DigiKey, they have that bulk order entry.
Yep.
It gives you
the quantity
part number,
breakdown,
quantity, and I think that's all you need, right? And then it's just like a list, and then
it's a breakdown of all the different price quantities and whether or not they're on reels or digi reels or loose.
No. This is just like a quick the quick order thing. It's like just their part number and how many, and then it just. You do like a list of almost like a common separated list, and it just goes whoop, and it fills out a bomb. So and a bunch of people have that. So Squid is no more. But
why did they fold?
I don't know. I didn't talk to him. I talked to him at some point, but
they couldn't find enough people interested in the concept, I guess, or willing to pay for it. There's a difference between people interested and want to use it and people who want to pay for it.
Story of my life, man.
They want all that juicy free content we've got for them. They want it for free.
Yeah. So anyways, this so back to this hardware product development process. This, like Dave said, it is a lengthy thing, but it is worth looking at, and it's manufacturing sucks. Okay, I know we talk about it. We're like, oh yeah, it's great, but like I've been talking to another friend who's got something in high volume, and it's a grind,
Yeah, totally.
Everybody wants to do the design stuff, but the maintenance stuff is how you make your money. Once your engineering NRE is gone, is already spent, and you've got this product. I mean, you're making stuff.
I'm making stuff. Just pain in the ass. I'm still manual spreadsheet crap, and it pisses me off every time I have to go make a new order. Everything's manual. Everything has to be redone. It's like no.
And I saw you were running out of microcurrents.
Yeah,
too.
Running out of microcurrents again.
So when's that build coming? I mean, you got to be.
I've got to make more. My manufacturer's working on it, and it's not a prior. My product's not a priority for them, so it's like it takes time, and then they might be out of stock, and they'll only tell me at the last minute, and
oh,
so
really?
then I got to order more.
Do you still have your reel of fancy resistors? Do you have?
They stock all that.
Oh, they have that.
Yeah,
okay.
I get it sent straight to the manufacturer. I don't double handle. I used to double handle so that I made sure I got what I.
Right. It's like you have like a wall safe with like you open it up and it's like oh.
Because I got bit with that.
Right.
Because even buying from DigiKey, I did a video on this years ago. They sent me the wrong part, and it made it onto the boards and got shipped out to people, and it was a 1% resistor instead of a 0.1%. And like,
that's that's a bit of a spec difference.
It's a bit of a spec difference when you're selling. The spec is it determined. There's no calibration on it.
Right.
It's built into the high price components you buy.
That's like that thing where what is it? There's like some wording. I was reading about food recently, and it's like contains white meat chicken is different than made with white meat chicken. Right? Made with I think that's how it goes. Made with white meat chicken means it actually is white meat chicken. Contains white meat chicken means some small amounts in there.
Right.
The rest is shoulder shrug.
Entrails.
No, literally shoulder shrug. Whatever that is. Delicious shoulder shrug.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, so that that's a big difference. That is. So, well, that's so like you're not at the point though where you're you're still selling like less than 100 a year kind of thing, like.
Oh no, I'd be selling 1,000 a year.
Oh, 1,000 a year.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's significant volume.
That's good.
Yep.
Yeah. That's true. We are in your shipping office.
My shipping office, which is pretty devoid of stock at the moment, but come the end of next week, there's going to be another 15 boxes here.
Shelves.
There will be shelves and 15 odd boxes. No, most of it, because I'm running out of multimeters. You only see you're sitting on my entire stock actually.
Well, I'm using it as a desk.
You're using it as a desk. You're using my 2 sole remaining boxes of 40 multimeters. So there's 80 multimeters, and that's pretty much my last stock I can send to Amazon. And
oh, that's right, Amazon.
Yes, Amazon. That's working pretty well.
Yeah,
I'm pretty impressed by that. Yeah. I like probably half my sales are through Amazon now.
Sweet.
And I don't advertise it; it just organically happens.
Well, you've got.
Well, I link to it on the web store, but It just happens. I'm very impressed.
Well, if you need to, you can always just sell that beast over there.
Oh, yes, the $300,000 scope. Yeah.
So why don't you tell the story with that thing?
No. It's found in the dumpster.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Did you find that military grade style box that it got shipped in or shipping back in?
What? Nothing to see here, folks.
The ruse is over, Dave.
Nothing to see here. Move on.
You got another year of people complaining about time zones too, huh?
I was forced to do a separate video on time zones.
I was living it at the time. I was like, what's the problem? It's like this is fine, right? Because I was further east than you are, I think.
Yes, you were. You were in New Zealand at the time.
Yeah, so I was pretty close.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Wait, was that really the ruse was still going? Are you still trying to hold up that ruse?
Yeah.
I
found a $300,000 scope in the dumpster. I physically took a $300,000 scope out of the dumpster. Yes.
That is a true statement.
That is a true statement.
Made with white chicken, yes.
It's a true statement.
Yeah. I think you need to no more dumpster finds. No more dumpster finds.
Anyway.
Yeah. I just imagine going down to your storage locker and it's just full of garbage.
It's pretty much full
Dave's
of garbage.
just a hoarder. Yeah.
It's full of it's crap. I can take you down there and show you.
Right.
Yeah. You haven't been to my lab yet.
I have not.
No, we just came straight to the office.
Well, we said that you said it's very messy, but I said that I don't trust anyone with a clean.
Right.
A clean.
I don't think we're going to do anything there. We just don't have time. Like, you're here for 7 days, but I'm surprised at how little time. Well,
road trip.
You've probably got a lot of time, but
Yeah, you've got stuff going on, and
I got family stuff going on up to the wazoo, and it's
Yeah, man. Well, life barrels on.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not young and single like.
Oh yeah, that's what it comes down to. Yes, because I'm just traveling.
Yeah, that's it. It's bumming around. Yeah, you got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Young whippersnappers.
Oh yeah, me and my youth. I'm a youth.
You can see my grey hair from here, right?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. Yep.
It's all the stress from.
It's all the stress from the amp hour and running a bloody YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Yep. So let's see what else is on here.
23 things artificially intelligent computers can do for what?
Yeah,
bloody
that's
bullshit.
a Seth Godin article.
And who puts something from BuzzFeed on here? I refuse to even open it if it's from BuzzFeed. What are you publishing BuzzFeed crap
Where was that?
for?
I forgot what it was.
Bloody BuzzFeed. Robots really did take people's jobs. Studies confirm. Yeah, well, no shit, Sherlock. Right. I mean, like.
I just like, I like posting that stuff because it's whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. This is interesting. Who was telling me about this crap? The FPGA instances. Did we talk
Amazon,
about that?
Amazon are offering it.
Yeah.
No, because Amazon. I have not read the article, but I'm going to. I remember
it's an EC2 F1 instance. So.
Yep. Amazon have as part of their servers, they have an FPGA on each server rack. They build it in, not knowing what to do with it, and now they're offloading they're offering.
Oh, is that what it came
service
from?
to use it? Or that was another company. Was that like Google or something?
Well,
Somebody.
no. You're talking
Who am I thinking
about Intel started putting, because they bought Altera, and then they started putting, I think on the Xeon chips, they started putting one of their server chips. I think they just put it in there for
They
future
put
stuff.
it in there for future use, and now they're realizing, that's right, they used them in the Google servers, and Google have finally said, oh, we've actually got an FPGA sitting in every server rack computer.
Right.
All we got to do is reprogram it to make it do stuff.
I'm sure that's
so they're doing
it starts like that, and like 2 weeks later, like, why did we start doing this?
But no, we had this on the Amp Hour like a year ago or something, I'm sure, and it's like, and they were, they're now doing processing 10 times faster than what they could before without upgrading their hardware. Somebody just respun some code, which routed
no big
it
deal.
through,
No big deal, folks. Just, up the code quotient, right?
Yeah, that's
because
FPGA
designers
it's coming back to me. What they were doing is funneling all of the traffic from the actual server processor, the Intel Xeon or whatever it was, through the FPGA, and the FPGA was just feeding it straight through.
Oh, okay.
And then they could, so both. It
like
was
doing like packet shaping stuff like that.
Yeah, and then you could do packet. You could do anything you want because you can now then insert hardware, FPGA hardware
like
in
make like a pipeline of like doing all the.
And you can do stuff in the background. They were doing fancy stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it was actually Dimitri that told me about this. So Neda Spazov, former guest and security consultant.
Why do Amazon? Why do Amazon have FPGA hardware available, accessible by humans?
Well, basically, so the idea is you could offload. So like. Fintech, financial technology stuff. Those guys use it nonstop, right? They're doing.
You're talking about stock share trading and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but you don't want to do that on the cloud. It's too slow.
Exactly. It's all about the transit time for that stuff.
Yeah.
But also you think about like doing biological processing, stuff like that.
Right.
So
yes,
basically, it's just any kind of like repetitive number crunching type thing. You can you've done a lot of FPGA stuff in the past. You can do do custom logic to repeat one operation type of thing. And you set up these data pipelines.
And then you get C to hardware compilers. If you've got one routine in your existing C program that's doing something, you can go,
they
press
love
a
selling
button.
That thing, and nobody ever used it.
Well, it kind of sort of works. Convert that C routine into FPGA, and it will execute that routine not as a sequential process, but as a parallel process in FPGA if it's suitable. For that type of process.
So to go back to one of the things that we've said in the past and contradicted, of course, as we are wont to do, why? So remember we were talking about when the guy was building that huge processor like architecture thing. And we're like, why would anyone ever need to know that, right?
Yeah, right.
That is one reason to know it, to know process architecture, to understand how data is flowing through a CPU so that and the ALU and all that stuff, because you understand how many cycles it takes, and then if you can find one place where you optimize, a multiply instead of, doing these cycle upon cycle, then you push it to the FPGA, and then that makes a lot more sense. So, but you still need, I think you're just pushing the bit file. I think you're actually getting a license for the FPGA software. I don't think it's actually processing in the cloud.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I think it's so AWS provides a hardware development kit to help you develop.
So this is fake news.
This is not fake news. This is basically I think you're programming the instance which has an FPGA on board.
Right.
And then you could route stuff through that.
Oh, okay, right. So it does actually run on
Right. And I mean, there's big stuff in there too. Like these are I forget which part it was. I think they're Xilinx parts, but it's
Xilinx Ultra Scale. What's a Xilinx Ultra Scale Plus?
I think it's like a $10,000 processor,
right?
or
Probably
chip rather. So yeah, so it's probably going to be limited people that are going to need this kind of thing, but you can I think you can get like a preview. Yeah, I think I signed up for the preview.
Okay.
But it's not. This is not meant for you and me.
It's actually a Vertex architecture. It's
okay.
Vertex Ultra Scale.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is meant for like people that are already already know about this if you're doing like the huge amount of processing
it's not like,
that's
someone
out there.
in their garage goes, "Oh, I need to use this."
Right. Yeah, if you're listening to this and you're interested in FPGAs, start smaller.
Much smaller.
Well, that's always the problem though too. Like I always recommend like the Papilio or
it's got 8 gig of memory integrated on package.
Yeah. Right, I mean that's the thing. Like these are huge devices.
Wow.
Yeah.
100 gigabit Ethernet MAC. 150 gig interlaken cores.
I don't even know what these things mean.
This is just insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I think it's just mostly interesting from a scalability type thing, right? Where like people they are in love with AWS, right? And it's they spend a lot of money there.
I use it for backup stuff.
Like the bucket stuff.
Yeah.
But this is like, I mean, like people are using like server clusters on
yep.
It's really interesting when
scalable websites and stuff like that.
Right. But like when a server goes down in Amazon, you can always tell.
You can
who's on
because
it.
everyone's down. Yeah. Right. Entire companies go down.
Yep. So so it's interesting that I doubt we'll see it for like web stuff anytime soon, but I'm sure that certain industries will take advantage of this kind of thing. So yeah, more FPGA people. What do you tell people to do for starting out in FPGAs?
Make sure you really have to first.
Right.
Don't do it it can be fun just for the sake of doing it. But, these days let's not get into the argument of, processors are so cheap and powerful that, but understand that you need that benefit first. First is understanding what benefit it's going to give you rather than unless you just want to from an educational point of view, which is fine. I highly recommend it.
Right.
But making sure that you've
and things that are I always think about things like that are streaming data, right? So video, audio, things like that. Things where you need low latency and you don't want to crunch like we were talking about with the cycling.
Serial to parallel SerDes stuff. That's why this ultra scale thing has 128 33 gig transceivers to give you 8.4 terabytes of serial bandwidth in the one FPGA. Right? Insane stuff. Yeah. Right? And so, high-speed serial to parallel SerDes type stuff, and also any sort of parallel operation, video processing, stuff like that.
Right. So
beamforming,
right.
Sorry, I come from a beamforming background.
Really?
All the seismic stuff is all beamforming. All the underwater sonar stuff is all beamforming.
Right. Yeah, you're sending out. What is it like? Constructive, destructive type stuff.
And it's a steerable array.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yep. That was all FPGA stuff. That's the only way you could do it.
Yeah.
That's the only way you could do it was to use, these, $5,000 beast of an FPGA.
Oh, right.
In some unusable package.
Because you were doing that.
No, how do you start? You just obviously you get one of the DigiLent demo boards or something like that.
True. They got the RD board and stuff like that.
And start with don't try and just start from scratch. Get the demo board. It automatically runs the program and then modify the program. It's just like regular. How do you learn programming? You don't read a book and start from scratch.
Right.
You take an existing working program and you modify it.
I am always kind of wary when people say I want to buy the book because they always want to start. But hopefully the book is starting with the Hello World or something, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But no, it's the same way.
And have a project in mind.
Of course.
Yeah. Got to have a project.
Yes. Contextual. Everything.
Oh yeah. Wearing the shirt.
Yeah, he's wearing the contextual. I post a photo.
Yep.
Him in his trendy haircut with the shirt.
Yep.
And that's the way to do it. There's no shame in doing that. There's there's no disadvantage to starting like that. There's none. It's the same argument. How do you learn hardware? Right? You don't start with silicon, right? You don't start with silicon physics, right? You don't start with fundamental physics.
Yeah.
So that's just
I was actually talking.
pointless.
So I met some yoga instructors that were like in Sydney for like a retreat.
As you do.
As you do, right?
Right,
It's
yeah.
a very healthy city. And they were talking about like the years of practice that they do, right? And I
Right.
started thinking about that for electronics too. Like actually, I started thinking about Mike Harrison, right?
Yep.
And you know, like it's just about you keep building stuff, right? It's just about like Mike did not get to where he is. You know, that serial video where he had that LED ring that was like the LEDs chasing each other. Did you see that one?
No, I don't.
So when he
that doesn't ring a bell.
The first Roden Schwartz
Yeah.
serial decode thing. He had this LED.
Oh no, I haven't watched the whole video because
okay.
it's like
He's
an
had
hour
this
long or
LED
something.
ring, and it's just
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
he does that bit flipping
Oh
stuff.
yeah, no, I sort of skimmed through it a little bit, and I saw he had an animated ring of LEDs, right?
He does that a lot, and but it's just like this beautiful display, and he does that all the time though. He's just always iterating and stuff.
That's
right?
his thing. Yeah,
Yeah, you just keep building these things though, right? And it's obviously that's
and you build up a toolkit of skills in that area.
exactly
You know?
right.
So yeah,
right.
that's how I was able to do things so quickly.
That too,
Because
right.
you know, like any
But
other
hardware is a skill, right?
No,
it's
it's-
this thing where you keep like KiCad's a skill.
Yep.
Soldering is like my soldering. Oh my god, it's so bad these days. It keeps getting worse. And I was thinking about it. Like I just need to get back into the like when I was doing it every day at
that makes a
job.
hell of a difference.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you just get so good. Like the techs.
You
That's
get
why
so
techs
good.
are so good because
They're doing it every day. That's their job.
every single day.
That's it every single day.
right.
That's why Lewis Rossman, for example,
Of
is
course,
so
right.
brilliant at repair.
Right.
Right? Yeah, I could probably repair a mobile phone too. I used to be a repair tech way back in the
Right,
day, right?
right.
A long, long time ago in a galaxy
Probably
far, far away.
different
No, I was
technology
working
stuff.
on
but
different
yeah,
technology.
He's
Yeah,
doing
it was
more BGAs than you were probably.
It was
but
all through hole back
yeah,
then.
right.
Yeah, but you know, I could probably do it too, but I would suck at it.
Right.
Right,
At the
because
beginning.
at the beginning, it'd
Right.
take me years to get really good at it. Right, a lot of trial and error, and it's the same with hardware design.
Yep.
You know, if you build up that toolkit and you're always doing that sort of thing, that's how Mike's able to do those lead projects so quickly and efficiently because that's
Then
what
they
it's-
look great. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Any other decent, competent design engineer could eventually do the same thing, but you're not going to do it
Right.
nearly as efficiently, nearly as fast, nearly as competently as somebody who does it daily.
Well, it's like when we had Bunny on too again the second time,
no,
right? He was
same
talking
thing.
about the
Yep.
the second, the third, the fourth
Same thing.
PhD, but he's
Yeah.
that's him also building up these skill sets where he can then, then turn it around and make a whatever, like. So,
It's like you're going to make tutorial videos quicker and more efficiently than I am. Because you've been doing more of them, right? Like
yeah.
off the cuff, like
Oh,
kind of,
right,
like,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
You've
recording
done
live
like
is like a thing that I do.
exactly. Yeah, and you've optimized your processes. You've learned how everything works, and I can do it too. But
Right.
I'm going to bum around. My setup's not optimized. I'm not. I've got to learn different things.
Right.
It's the same
I guess
thing.
we're just talking about building skills.
yeah,
building
right.
skills is hard. That's what we've learned here
and,
today.
and keeping them. Though
keep it-
is the
yes,
other.
true.
Like
That
I
is
said, I used to be a repair tech,
Right.
and I thought I was pretty darn good at it.
Right,
Right,
right.
now,
Right. Well, and any layout program too. I like so like you can always kind of like feel the crustiness when you're like
Right.
going back and you're like,
right.
where is it? You just but every day like some people
Yep.
are doing that stuff every day. So
It reminds me of a video I watched of the Woz, right? He designed the Apple II, right?
Right,
The
of course,
Apple
yeah.
II. And there was a video where he got an Apple II. Like
put it in
somebody,
front of him?
Yeah, they put it in front of him, and he
That's
tried
a
to. He
dick
was
move.
bumming around, and
He's
he was like,
uh,
and he was
it's
like,
like,
I
guys,
think,
this is like 40 plus years
ago,
ago,
right? And yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm in awe of people who can go back. Some
Right.
people can. I've met people who can, talk about stuff from 20, 30 years ago as detailed as, yep,
Right. But
Yep.
certain memory types and
Yeah.
personality types, stuff like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, there's a lot of schools I've built up and lost over the years.
anything you regret losing?
No,
I mean, that's the thing.
I
Yeah.
don't regret
The
it.
stuff-
It's just
this-
happened. That's
right, but the
life,
stuff
right? You
that-
move into different parts of your career.
Well,
and
exactly.
you-
Yeah.
you
Like
know,
the
like-
soldering stuff. Like, I wish I was better at soldering, especially when I need to solder.
I used to be a really good programmer.
Oh, yeah.
Right back, I ditched electronics for a couple of years there. I really
never knew
wasn't
that, actually.
doing much. I got hooked on the software thing when I was a teenager.
The software
late-
sauce, yeah.
Yeah, right. And I was, I thought I was pretty good. Like, I was never into, like, the hardcore, like, the C++.
Yeah, right,
You know,
the object.
well, was that even out then? Well, no, object-oriented programming just came out then, I think.
But you were doing, like, a lot of C.
I was doing a lot of C and BASIC and Pascal, right? And assembler as well. I was doing 8086 assembler, you know, all that sort of stuff.
And then there was also your writing career. There was the... I'm staring at a... what am I staring at, Dave?
You're staring at an old box of The Art of Internet Dating books. Yep.
We may crack it open. I might take a book with me, but currently acting as Dave's speaker stand, which
it is my speaker stand. I've got my speaker resting on it. Yep. This is the perfect
with
height.
The Art of Electronics too, man.
With the Art of
this should not be under the speaker.
Is that a fake or a genuine one? You think? I've got a couple of copies of the Art of it. This is the 3rd edition.
Yeah, it looks like a real one.
Looks like a genuine one. You don't know how to tell a genuine one from a non-genuine?
I don't.
Smell is the first thing probably, and then and then it's the spine. I've done a video on it. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
You can tell between a fake
one.
Find
that link. Sorry, what is the video called?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've made a video.
Okay.
I don't know.
Fake, but like
it could be in a mailbag. It's probably buried away in a mailbag.
Fake book?
Oh yeah. They've actually ripped it off. They've completely ripped it off in
But it's
India
like you open it up and it's like.
Oh no.
Is it like the Turkish version of Wizard of Oz?
No,
you ever seen that thing?
No.
That's a train wreck.
Right.
It's like they just remade Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
but like
they
in
physically
Turkish,
remade it.
And
okay.
it's just like, but like the most
no.
like the scarecrow looks like a bum.
Right. No. It's a genuine. No, this is like all the information's there. So it's not like, you know, but it's a non-genuine copy. They've
I see.
ripped it off, they scanned it in, and they've reprinted it or whatever.
That's pretty lame, actually.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, they had a big problem, you know, and they were trying to whack them on Amazon, you know.
Of course,
but a new one would pop up as soon as you got one shut down, you know.
Yep.
Anyway, it's somewhere. I've lost a lot of skills. Yourself?
Well, my analog stuff, man, like the...
Right, because you used to work at Keithley, right?
Right, exactly.
Analog,
that stuff.
The analog, Chris Gamble's Analog Life.
Yeah,
you know?
of course,
like,
right,
no,
yeah. I mean, just general design stuff, like just being designing every day.
Same here. Like, ever since I became, you know, I basically gave up the full-time gig designing, and I'm now make videos for a living. And,
right, and that's a different skill. Obviously, we talk about, you know, like it's got its own challenges, but...
It has its own skill set, you know.
Right,
it took me years and years to learn and perfect.
Right.
You know.
So, you know, people that are in a grinding design job, obviously, there's a downside to that, which is it's a grinding design job, but you're also, you know, it's like you're in a gym, effectively. You're in a design gym, right? Yeah.
I think, though, there's probably, because I'm still, even though I don't do daily design anymore, you know, I'm like, sometimes I go months without design, without, you know, doing anything at all. And it's probably still enough that I'm just dicking around looking at data sheets and doing stuff that it probably keeps my hand in.
Sure, yeah,
you know,
right. You're not like on a desert island drinking Mai Tais or something, right?
I probably wouldn't be as efficient at PCB layout now as I used to be when I was a full-time PCB designer. I was laying out hundreds of boards, every day. That's all I was doing, is laying out boards, you know, huge, big monster boards.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be as efficient now. I can still do it.
But it's,
and the skill's still there.
Right, when they talk about getting back on a bike, you never forget to ride a bike. No. Doesn't mean you're also, you know, doing a stage of the Tour de France.
No, right, yes, I'm 5 levels of tool behind, you know. I don't know
I'm
what
huffing and puffing on my city bike, you know,
but I can still...
yeah.
But I can still make a decent showing of myself, you know, So, yeah.
I don't think I brought this up. So there was a talk, this was just out of the window, I think. There was the last thing I'll bring up is there was a talk. Maybe I did bring it up, but the meetup I do in San Francisco. This guy Pete, did I mention that?
No.
So he was an antenna designer and he built a VNA from scratch.
Oh, nice. Right. Yes, I think you did tell me about this.
I don't know if I was on the show, but if not, anyways.
No. I think we were on the train, were we? And you told me about it.
Maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
But anyways, it's like you look at his layout and it's ugly, right?
Right.
But it worked, and he just kept going. So, Pete reminded me a lot of, like, Mike Osman, right? So, Mike Osman started from, you know, a Wi-Fi background, just kind of figured stuff out. There's a talk that I posted a long time ago about where Mike it was from the Hackaday conference, where Mike talked about his 5 rules of designing for RF. But Pete just kept going, and he understood, like, how VNAs worked and how antennas worked, especially because that's what he does. But, like...
Right.
Just watching his tenacity is unbelievable. So if you want to, like...
Cool.
So even if you don't have the skills right now, you know... sometimes you can just fight through it.
You can bum your way through it.
Right,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's another lesson too. I think it's just keep pushing. Just keep pushing through, and it's awesome. So, anything else? I mean,
no, that's it.
We hit our hour.
We're 10 minutes over.
Yep.
Yep.
So, if you didn't hear at the beginning, we're having a meetup
next Tuesday.
Technically, the only official
this Tuesday
Amp Hour meetup, because you and I will both be there.
We will both be there.
Right. There have been some Amp Hour meetups with just me.
Yep.
But
nope. Not
official
with
Amp
both
Hour
of
meetup.
us. And it's the first official EEV blog meetup too.
That too. So making history on Tuesday. If you are in Sydney or willing to fly or drive here,
it's going to be huge.
Yep. So
how many we got now? We might have pushed our 50. We kind of wanted like 50.
Yeah, we were hoping for 50.
We were hoping for 50 plus. And the room caters for 150. So if like a lot of people who don't RSVP show up, then we could be in trouble.
Right. Yeah, because we didn't have the meetup link right away. So who knows?
Right. No.
But meetup's always kind of dicey with that, anyways.
Right.
People RSVP and be like,
and then they just don't bother.
Chris will be back soon enough.
Or they might turn up and hover around and see who's here, and they might shy away.
Right. Oh, Dave and Chris showed up, and I'm gone.
No. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, come up and say hi.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Dave and
Actually, we might have so many people that.
I'm not making any predictions here.
No, but let's say 100 people turned up, right? It's impossible to talk to everyone, right? Whereas you talking about you had like 6-7 people turn up in Wellington or whatever, right?
Sure, right. We were sitting there for 4 hours.
You can sit there and you can all hear each other, right? You sit on one table, whereas this won't be possible.
True, right?
So I might have to stand at the door for the first hour and just greet
reception
everyone,
line,
just greet everyone as they come in, so I actually.
That's actually a good tip for the young people too. I didn't realize this as all my friends started getting married.
Yeah.
You don't get to talk when your friends getting married. You don't talk to them. They are talking to everyone else, right?
Right.
It's kind of like that. So don't expect to talk to your friend at their wedding.
Right.
Yep.
Just yes, of course. No, I've
drink
the
booze
married, I've been there
and hit on the bridesmaids, or whatever.
Whatever.
Right. Chris's perspective has changed.
So anyway, yes. So don't feel embarrassed to come up if we're talking.
Oh
or
yeah,
definitely.
Like that's actually a really good tip at a meetup. Yeah, especially just hover and say hi whenever. Yeah, that's.
Yep.
Yeah,
I had
not just people.
No, I had people say that actually when I've been to the trade shows. I've had a booth at the trade show. I've been hanging around the trade shows. People said, "Oh, you were talking to someone. I didn't want to come up and say hi." And no, you've got to
Yeah, just jump in, say something. Just join the conversation. Hopefully, it's a conversation. That's the main thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So. No, I don't mind people coming up, and I might be in a long conversation with someone I want to have a conversation with. But it's great when you come up and go, I just want to shake your hand, and say hi.
Right.
And then that's fine.
Or jump in and offer some perspective on whatever's being said.
And then you'll usually get the vibe from me is like, we're in a private conversation, hi, thanks,
kind of.
Or you might get the vibe from me, hey, join in, and listen, we're just talking shop, we're just.
I think it'll be a lot of talking shop.
Yeah, it's going to be all talking shop.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
Yeah,
well, I'm looking forward to it, and we'll be doing other stuff. So keep an eye out. And,
and we'll be going on a road trip the next morning. That's probably a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't be driving. I'll be fine.
No, you'll be fine. Yeah. And I'm the designated driver.
That's right.
Awesome.
All right, man. Well,
it's been good.
Talk to you soon.
First, even.
Talk to you soon. I mean, I'm still here.
Look, I can shake his hand. There you go.
Well, that was nobody can hear that.
Good show.
And cut. And cut.
Stop. Stop? Yes.
Stop.
Stop.